Family, friends, and guests, welcome to the 300th commencement exercises of Bowling Green State University. Let the ceremony begin. Our commencement tradition is to begin and end each ceremony with Sounds of the Centennial, an original musical composition written by BGSU alumnus Ryan Nowlin. This piece was commissioned to celebrate the centennial of Bowling Green State University. Would you please rise and join us in honoring our 220 alumni and spring 2021 graduates. Graduates, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and pick up your chair so you'll be able to sit in a while. In keeping with the significance of this momentous occasion, we ask today's attendees to observe several courtesies. To our audience and guests, please do not enter the field or obstruct the movement of today's commencement participants. A professional photographer will be taking pictures of our alumni and graduates. In honor of our alumni and graduates, would you please silence your cell phones at this point? In addition, we ask our audience and guests to remain seated for the recessional while the platform participants, faculty, staff, and new alumni recess. Once the graduates leave the field at the conclusion of our commencement exercise, you may join them in the southwest entrance to Deutt L. Perry Stadium. Upon leaving, you are invited to explore campus with your graduate. There's no parking fee at this time. To our alumni and graduates, please follow the directions of the commencement marshals and ushers. Also, for everyone, please follow all COVID-19 health and safety protocols during and after this event. Given our capacity, and to comply with orders of guidelines from the Ohio Department of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, please wear your face covering at all times and physically distance yourself. Due to COVID-19, the president and the provost will not be shaking hands on stage. Graduates will pick up their diploma from a platform on the stage and then pose for a photo with the president and provost. In addition, following the ceremony, you're invited to visit bgsu.edu/commencement for highlights of today's commencement and time at BGSU. Thank you. And now, if you would, please join us in welcoming representatives of the faculty of Bowling Green State University. Now would you please welcome the President's Platform Party. Board of Trustees, Vice Chair and alumnus, David O'Brien. Dean of Libraries, Sarah Bushong, and Dean of the Honors College, Simon Morrigan Russell. Provost and Senior Vice President, Dr. Joe Whitehead, and the 12th President of Bowling Green State University and alumnus, Dr. Rodney Rogers. We now invite Bowling Green State University's United States Air Force ROTC Detachment 620 to present America's Colors. Would you please remain standing for the national anthem under the leadership of vocalist Carolyn Anderson and pianist Yufeng Liu. Both are candidates for a Master of Music in Performance. Gentlemen, please remove your covers.
Good afternoon. I'm Melissa Burek, Associate Dean in the College of Health and Human Services, and I have the honor of serving as University Marshal for today's ceremony. I want to thank Ms. Anderson, Ms. Liu, and Bowling Green State University's Air Force ROTC Detachment 620 for their performance of our national anthem. Please be seated. 2020 alumni and spring 2021 graduates, parents, families, spouses, partners, friends, and special guests, I have the honor, on behalf of the faculty, to welcome you to the 300th commencement exercises of Bowling Green State University. This occasion offers an opportunity to come together as a community of learners to both celebrate and reflect upon our graduates' many academic accomplishments. For each graduate and for all of us, this is a significant day. It's now my pleasure to introduce the 12th president of Bowling Green State University, Dr. Rodney Rogers.
Thank you, Dr. Burke. Good afternoon, 2020 alumni and spring 21 graduates, parents, families, spouses, partners, friends, and special guests. We welcome you all to Bowling Green State University, or Blowing Green State University. There's a little bit of wind, but we are together, and we welcome you to be here. You know, in May 1996, we were at this exact spot to honor our graduates. That was the last time the university hosted commencement at the Doit. 25 years ago, a quarter of a century. But this weekend, we are back here to celebrate a very momentous occasion in the lives of 7,077 graduates. It is my privilege to begin today's address by recognizing those individuals who provide the leadership at Bowling Green State University and allow us to do what we do. As I announce the names, please stand and remain standing, and I ask that you hold your applause until the end. Board of Trustees, Vice Chair David O'Brien. Joe Whitehead, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs. The deans of our academic colleges, beginning with Alexander Goberman, Dean of the Graduate College, Dale Klopfert, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Raymond Braun, Dean of the Allen W. and Carol M. Schmidhorst College of Business, Dawn Chenu, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, James Cicela, Dean of the College of Health and Human Services, William Mathis, Dean of the College of Musical Arts, Arsenio Rodriguez, Professor in the College of Technology, Architecture, and Applied Engineering, Andrew Kurtz, Dean of the Firelands College, Simon Morgan Russell, Dean of the Honors College, Sarah Bushong, Dean of the University Libraries. And last but not least, great universities are comprised of great faculty and staff. And I would ask that our faculty and staff that are with us this afternoon, who are representing all of our faculty and staff of the university, would you please stand and be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these individuals a round of applause. Thank you. So, 420 days ago, our world changed. And I'm sure each of you may remember where you were when Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced a state of emergency because of COVID-19. You know, we didn't know much then about COVID-19. So many states sheltered in place, including here in Ohio. We learned to adapt very quickly. You know, we moved classes online. We brought students home that were studying abroad. We moved students out of the residence halls. You know, we logged into our first WebEx or Zoom session. Some of us baked bread. My wife, Sandy, got into baking bread. I think I gained 20 pounds. It was great bread. We binged on Netflix shows. We did virtual tours of museum and probably took up about every imaginable solo hobby to try to stay busy. You know, we also recognize that beyond this global pandemic, this has been a very difficult time, both on our campus over this past year, but throughout the state, the world, and certainly our nation. And all of us have been impacted in different ways. And while today is absolutely about celebrating your success and your graduation, we also thought it was fitting to take a moment of silence to recognize the deep loss and sorrow that many of us might have experienced this past year. So if I could ask for just a moment of silence. Thank you. In spite of all of these challenges, though, this past fall, we came back together. We had in-person and virtual options, and while they may not have been perfect, we found a way to ensure that Bowling Green State University continued to serve our students together. And throughout this past year, it at times was hard to imagine that we would be gathering in person again to celebrate commencement. But to our 2020 alumni who attended our virtual celebration, we said we would be back together in person for a commencement, and here we are. Thank you, alumni of 2020. Welcome home. "420 days. This global pandemic has taught us so much, not just as individuals, but as a community and as a university. And I just want to start off with a very simple message to our 2020 alumni and our 2021 spring graduates, and to all of our faculty and staff and those associated with BGSU. You did it. Against significant challenges, you found a way forward. And we should be so very proud of what we have achieved together to move forward."
That's what we're promoting right now, inclusivity.
Just to show people that we care about one another.
You have a nomination. Somebody got you here to say
So I urge you to make a difference in this campus. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish at this institution.
State University, together, you should be so very proud. Congratulations. So as we begin the ceremony, I do want to share just a few very quick statistics and facts about our 2020 alumni and Spring 21 graduates. So I'm pleased to report that our graduates and their classmates spent a great deal of time studying and doing research at the library. During the past 4 years, our librarians tell me they answered 47,438 questions and that you downloaded 2,862,000 research articles. This past year, 26,882 COVID tests were administered and 13,327 vaccine shots were provided to those who wanted to be vaccinated. You know, we tried to calculate the number of Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Team meetings, but there were too many. So instead, the Chief Information Officer let me know that you consumed, listen to this number, you consumed 325,987 thousands of terabytes of data on the Wi-Fi. I wonder how many of those were Hulu or Netflix. No, you were studying. And studying does take fuel. And BGSU Dining tells me that our graduates ate a lot. Over the last 4 years, our students consumed nearly 285 pizzas. I might add that more than 2.3 million hours were also spent in the rec center. So there's a link there, perhaps. This weekend, over all of our commencements, we are celebrating the accomplishments of a great group of graduates. And as a public university for the public good, you have created public good by recognizing the importance of paying it forward. Those involved in student life and our signature co-curricular activities averaged over 94,000 hours per year in community service. And in this year alone, during this pandemic, our students raised nearly $500,000 for nonprofit and charitable organizations during a pandemic. Thank you. You should be very proud of your work. At Bowling Green, we believe that our students have the opportunity to belong, to stand out, go far. You've heard us say that. And it is more than just words, it is our promise. And this graduating class embodies that promise. In total, there are 7,077 degrees we are celebrating this weekend, including both the 2020 alumni and the 2021 spring graduates. 14% of our graduates are students of color. 62% are women. There are 275 international students representing 41 countries. We have an 18-year-old receiving an undergrad degree. We have a 64-year-old receiving a bachelor's degree and a 69-year-old receiving a doctoral degree. So as you can see, our graduates include both the young and the young at heart. You are ethnically diverse. You come from small towns, suburbs, and big cities. You are from different parts of Ohio, the entire United States, and from all over the world. Some of you have probably completed your degree completely online. And I know that this may be the first time on campus and you're meeting your colleagues and classmates in person for the first time. However, all of you, each one of you, have one thing in common. You all have found a university where you could belong. You found your place at Bowling Green, in the classrooms or in the laboratories, in the residence halls, in clubs, in student organizations, in Greek life, or on the athletic fields. You made Bowling Green your community and home. And all of this is to ensure that we absolutely need to have a very strong learning community, a place where you can belong. That you're sitting here today illustrates that you've thrived at Bowling Green. You have found purpose, followed your passion, and stood out. You have embraced the unique BG learning experience, developing leadership skills throughout your journey. So now, in recognition of your accomplishments, I'm going to ask a number of students to stand and to be recognized. And many of you certainly have grown through experiential learning and co-curricular involvement. These types of experiences have absolutely prepared you to stand out. So, if any time during your academic career you've done any of these things, such as studying abroad, participated in a learning community, completed an internship or co-op, got involved in service learning, conducted undergrad research, or if you've taken part in an opportunity that has provided you with your leadership education, including leading student organizations, academic honoraries, advisory boards, athletics, residence education, student government, teaching, or research assistantships, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Thank you for being so involved in your education. Finally, I would like to recognize the heroic service of our United States veterans and active members of the armed forces who are graduating today. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. So earning your degree today places you in a very select group of people. Less than 7% of the world's population has a bachelor's degree or higher. You have absolutely earned it. But with your degree comes an immense responsibility. You see, not only have you invested in your education, not only has your family and perhaps friends have invested in your education, but by attending a public university, the citizens and residents of the state of Ohio and the nation have invested in you as well. It comes with immense responsibility. Now, I also know that not one of us has gotten to where we are without the support of others. And for our graduates, a lot of those people that have helped you during your time, you're probably thinking about right now to get you where you are today. So in the spirit of our 1987 commencement speaker, who spoke at this exact spot, so it was in 1987 that the commencement speaker was Mr. Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers was here, 1987. And I'm going to ask, like he did, that I'm going to ask you to take 10 seconds right now, 10 seconds of your time, to think about all the people who have helped you become who you are, who supported you, who were always in your corner. 10 seconds. I'll watch the time. Thank you. The people you thought about have made a difference in your life. And I'm sure many of them are here today, and it is my pleasure to honor them. So would the parents, spouses, partners, children, grandparents, family members, friends, and anyone else who helped make these individuals successful, would you please stand and be recognized? Graduates, give them a round of applause. So in closing, and before I invite Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs, Dr. Joe Whitehead, to the podium, I'd like to speak just real briefly to our graduates. And I hope you will allow me to share some advice that I've learned over my life, but have also been shared by my mentors with advice that they have shared with me. And so, very simply, I just ask you to continue to be kind. The world needs more kindness. We've always needed more kindness, so be kind. It is certainly part of the Bowling Green experience to be kind to each other. So be kind and continue to work hard. You know, we're the kind of place where we are kind to each other and we do work hard. So continue to be kind and work hard. Make sure you remain curious. Sometimes we rush to judgment. We make decisions about certain things without understanding and being curious enough. So be curious before you judge. Ask questions. Don't be afraid. Don't shy away or be afraid from tackling messy challenges. We will have all kinds of challenges in a post-COVID world, but I know you're up to the task. Don't shy away from messy challenges, which means you're going to have to collaborate with and learn from all kinds of peers, diverse peers, people from all kinds of backgrounds, so we can learn together. Always have fun. Don't forget, have fun. But most importantly, never, ever stop learning. If you do all of these things, you will absolutely do well in life, but you will also do good. Graduates, congratulations.
Good afternoon. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer of Bowling Green State University, I have the honor to recommend our graduates for their degrees. However, before I do that, this is a momentous occasion, so let's think about your journey since your admission to Bowling Green State University to the last final exam or project. As a student, you've experienced and witnessed so much during your time here, whether you've been here for 4 years, 2 years, or studied completely online. We thought it would be fitting to share some highlights with you via video.
Congratulations, BGSU graduates. It's been a great 4 years with so many moments to remember. Since we welcomed you at Freshman Convocation, you and the university have soared. You were the first to learn in the Kulin Center. We renewed our commitment to old traditions, finished building on a new one, said goodbye to an old one, and you found a place where you will always belong. We displayed our pride with a new campus landmark. You danced, biked, and shaved for charity. Nearly a dozen new Falcons joined the family, and new business ideas were hatched. There were MAC championships, big seasons, big wins. A return to national prominence and national championships. We eclipsed our peers in national rankings. And the sun followed suit. There were some long winters, but we had fun. We served to remember Dr. King's legacy, honored Bob and Ellen Thompson, BGSU's most generous philanthropists, celebrated a gift that will transform our future, and raised a record amount of support for our next chapter. We formed new, innovative partnerships and programs to help meet workforce needs. And our research served the public good, working to address the critical issues facing the world. Our frontline Falcons became our healthcare heroes. We welcomed new friends and had to say goodbye to old ones too soon. But we stayed in touch and kept on teaching and learning, and did our part to keep our campuses open and move our university forward. Most importantly, we are sending our BGSU graduates soaring to serve the world and lead meaningful and productive lives. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Mathis. I'm the Dean of the College of Musical Arts. President Rogers and Trustee O'Brien, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Musical Arts, I am pleased and honored to present these candidates and recommend them for degrees.
Leah Renee Tracy, cum laude. Christopher Akash Jeffer, magna cum laude with university honors. Ivan Yamagalov. Tai Linsong Knoll, summa cum laude with university honors. Brianna K. Miller, cum laude. Audrey Ellen Pirtle, cum laude. Anna Nicole Ayink, summa cum laude with university honors. David Grant Hirschfeld. Kelly Ann Ellis. Ashley Marie Mania. Zachary Michael Sanford. Frances Grace Zengel, receiving her diploma today from Marion Zengel, her mother, who's an associate teaching professor in the College of Education and Human Development. Also, summa cum laude. Jenna Louise Kaufman, cum laude. Callie Grace Fowler, cum laude. Brock David Burkett. This concludes the recognition of the bachelor degree candidates from the College of Musical Arts.
Thank you, Dean Kurtz. Will all the degree candidates please rise? Vice Chair O'Brien, it is my privilege to present these candidates to you. On behalf of their faculty, advisors, and deans, I hereby recommend that their degrees be conferred upon them as indicated in the official program.
On the recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate degree as listed in the official program with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Master's degree candidates, congratulations. Baccalaureate and associate degree graduates, this is the appropriate moment for the symbolic change of the tassel from the right to the left. To our newest alumni, let me be the first to welcome you to one of the most valuable perks, a supportive network of more than 195,000 alumni around the globe. I hope all of you have had the type of experience that will empower you to tell the BG story as you begin your next journey. Welcome to the Alumni Association of Bowling Green State University. And now, as alumni of Bowling Green State University, I ask you to join in singing of our alma mater. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the men's chorus for this performance. Alumni, please be seated. President Rogers will now make some closing remarks.
Thank you, Trustee O'Brien. Graduates, today is your day, the pinnacle of your academic journey at Bowling Green State University. You know, you are clearly prepared to do amazing things in the next phase of your journey, perhaps more so than many of our graduates in the past, because you have adapted, you've persevered, you've overcome all types of obstacles to earn this degree. You have been tested. You found a way forward and are absolutely ready for what's next. And so as we close our 300th commencement ceremony, please remember that Bowling Green will always be one of your homes, and you will be forever welcome here as part of the Falcon family. And so I ask you to stay engaged with your classmates, with each other, and also this university, a university that you have enriched, a university that is better because you chose to be here. And on these types of occasions, I'm reminded of the quote from BGSU's fourth president, Dr. Ralph McDonald. It's inscribed in the stonework of the Bowen Thompson Student Union. And it reads, "We are linked to this institution by invisible bonds that do not wither or dissolve." We are linked to this institution by invisible bonds that do not wither or dissolve. You see, your success is our success, and our success is your success. We are forever linked to this institution. And so as I look out to each of you, our newest alumni, I see the next generation of thought leaders, risk takers, visionaries, and big dreamers. You are graduates of a public university ready to create public good by making a difference in your career, in your family, in your alma mater, in your community, in the nation, in the world. That is what you do. That is who we are. You are entering the next chapter in your life, and this chapter is absolutely yours to write. Don't forget that each of us must own the legacy to which we belong. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish next. It will be nothing less than extraordinary. I Ziggy Zumba.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let that lonely feeling wash away. 'Cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand,
You can reach out your hand.
and oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.